Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Tuesday, May 13th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 9 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. Before I got to today's energy, I was just reflecting to myself and thinking about how in the moment when we're preparing for something, well, for me, and I'm sure some others can feel it too, where it's like my intuition, like say for example, someone invites me to something and it's something that I should want to go to, and it might be in the next few months. It's like at the moment of the invitation and me thinking about it, I can feel a yes or no within my body. And I've had that happen a couple times where say I'm invited to something and in the moment it's like I feel no, and I'll acknowledge the no within myself, but then move forward, and when the date comes, the thing never happened, or maybe it's better off that I didn't go. And when it came to today's energy, like the reason why I was thinking about that is because I was thinking to myself how since I started recording the messages, the energies just felt like a lot of distraction, a lot of stimulation, and even within me, it's like the communication, it feels like there's something between communication and emotions and things of that nature. And today I thought that I was going to do a lot more recording than what I set out to do, but something in me said no, you have time to leave it to another time, so it's okay to leave it to another time. And I'm glad I did, because when it came to the messages, it felt like they required so much. And I say all that to say, when it comes to today's energy, something comes to an end. And the thing that comes to an end, today's energy is all about letting go. And what will inspire the letting go is reflecting on the foundation. It's like realizing that in order to have this secure thing that I deserve, I'm going to have to let something go. And leading up to, say, yesterday's energy, the full moon in Scorpio, it's all about letting go. But today's adding up and reducing to 9 vibration brings our attention to that. And me sharing everything I shared about, being able to see that, okay, being able to like listen to my body and trust what it's telling me. Whenever I'm invited somewhere, I'm thinking to do something, or I'm getting ready to make a decision, it brings me to, when it comes to say today's energy, if you find yourself wanting to hold on because of fear of the unknown, like really sit within yourself and see how something is feeling within your body and know the difference, whether it's fear causing you to hold on, or if everything within you is saying, no, I should hold on because I still have more to learn when it comes to this thing. And with us being in a 9 universal year, overall, this is a year of something coming to an end, whether it evolves to the next level, that's a thing, or if it comes to an end completely and we walk away and we're done. And with, the full moon in Scorpio that happened yesterday, but we're still in that energy, because for me, a full moon or a new moon will happen, and days leading up to it, it feels like, for me, it could be even like a week leading up to the energy, and a week after, maybe even a little bit less. It's like I'll feel the impact of the energy. And I feel like, something comes to an end with an old psychology, an old way of doing a thing, Or for some, it could be around, how you manage your finances. Maybe a thing coming to an end with someone's finances is that they learn to be better managers. They learn to do better when it comes to organizing their funds and be conscious about how they spend it, what they do with it. Or for another, it could be around psychology, fear, false beliefs appearing to be real, and realizing that it's time that, that stuff stop dominating your world. When it comes to the spirit guidance, we have the bear. Interesting. So with today's energy, bringing big emphasis on letting go or even humanitarianism, but what's inspiring that is stability, a need for stability, a need for security, a need for self-expression, and not feeling like one is able to express themselves the way they would like, or feel stable to create and express the way they would like, and then releasing what doesn't serve them. The bear energy for me coming out in the reversal position brings me to cycles and being unprepared. So when I think of unprepared and cycles, with the bear coming out with today's energy, I think of how something will come to an end and not taking a step back to sit with what happened. I think of the person that will have a breakup, but not stop to really reflect on the breakup, what happened in that relationship exactly, and what was my role when it came to that relationship. What was my role in the thing that just happened? With the bear coming out in the reversal position, it brings me to how much we can cause ourselves to get stuck in a loop because we never stop to understand what just happened. What happened? How did it happen? And what was my role in what happened? And like I mentioned in yesterday's message, there was a time when I didn't know how to stop and check myself in that way. I was unconsciously caught up in these loops, in these tornadoes, and I didn't know that I had a role, or I didn't see what my role was, because at the time I felt like, I'm a good person. And in the process of me doing good, I keep getting hurt. And, over time, I learned to stop and reflect on my role. And my role at times was that, I wanted people to be who they kept showing that they weren't. I wanted people to be their potential. And I can't be mad at them for, say, getting a glimpse of them and expecting them to be that and wanting them to be that when their actions are clearly showing that they're not that. Filling in the blanks and making excuses for people, and then feeling betrayed when they, show me who they are. Where instead of feeling betrayed and angry, I should have been grateful that set myself free from the situation, because I'm seeing the truth of this person or truth of the situation. And there were times when I would hold on and try to fix it, try to make it better, or I would think that I need to be better to make the situation better, or I need to be better to make them better, instead of believing what they're showing me or believing what the situation is showing me. But most importantly, taking accountability, and taking accountability just meant seeing my role in it. How was I showing up to this? How was I showing up to this? That's it. How was I showing up to this from day one? How was I showing up to this? And what could I have done different? How was I showing up to this, and what could I have done different? Because in the past, when I couldn't see how I was showing up or what I could do different, the lesson wasn't learned. And like in school, when we don't pass the class, we stay back. It's a reoccurring energy. We stay back. You keep staying back until you pass the class. So whenever we find ourselves looping or stuck in a negative cycle, is because we haven't learned the lesson. And until we do, we'll keep staying back until we pass the class. So with the bear energy in the reversal position, it brings me to take a step back and understand what happened and what was your role in what happened. What was your role? We all have a role. Like, I've been in situations where I've been a part of, narcissistic dynamics, and I would get triggered and lash out. And within that dynamic, the other person would enjoy the fact that I'm giving all this energy and looking like a crazy person, reacting as they're gaslighting and act like they're not doing whatever it is that they're doing. And at one point, it's like they just seem evil, and maybe they are evil, but what was my role? Giving my energy in a situation where my energy wasn't being reciprocated. It wasn't being properly received. There was no give and take. I was just giving, and reacting and not seeing what's happening. When I think of that energy too, I think of how we could get lost in our illusions, because clearly I was operating in a space of illusion. Because if they're not matching my energy, or there is no reciprocity, but for some reason I'm seeing something to continue to pour into something or give into something that's just taking and not giving back. And I guess at the time there was a few things to observe. Self-worth, maybe me not realizing that I am worthy of receiving. Clearly, there was a self-worth thing that played a part, and a lot of other things that played a part. But I would have never been able to see and address the things that played a part if I didn't first stop and, bring light to the situation and see, what is my role? What is my role? How am I showing up to this? Or how am I allowing this? Why am I allowing this? Because like I said, if we are not children and we are able to come and go as we please and we're not prisoners, if we're not children and we're not prisoners, then we're allowing it. If you're not a child and you're not a prisoner, then you allowed it. How did you allow it? Why did you allow it? And for me, acknowledging that I allowed it doesn't mean that it was right, but acknowledging that I allowed it, helped me to put a stop to it, to not, enter into a situation where it continues to happen. So if you're not a prisoner and you're not a child and something keeps reoccurring, how are you allowing these people to use you, to take advantage of you? How are you allowing it? Why are you allowing it? What is the story that you're telling yourself that that allows for this to keep happening? And the bear in the reversal position brings me to, learning from the situation before moving to the next, before moving on. Because if we don't acknowledge or reflect, then it's going to keep happening. And we have the Three of Cups energy in the reversal position. With the Three of Cups in the reversal position, it brings me to this feeling of disappointment. It's like anticipating something and it didn't work out. And it brings me to that saying, rejection is the creator's protection. Rejection is the creator's protection. I've gotten to a place in my life now, I feel a little emotional even thinking about it, but I've gotten to a place in my life now that feels so good, in the sense that I remember when I used to feel so bummed out about certain things not playing out the way how I would want it to play out, and then look out into the world and seeing how, this thing that I'm working so hard at seems to be so effortless for someone else because the benefits that they might appear to be receiving. But like, life is always working for me. Life is always working for you. Now I've come to the realization that there are things that I want that I haven't gotten yet because I am not ready. For whatever reason, the universe or even me within me hasn't gotten to the point where I've unlocked and allow access for certain things to come into my world. Maybe I think of like, say, I was watching something earlier with this trader talking about how something happened in his world where I think his brother, a family member violated him really, really bad. And they had a major falling out. But it was after he woke up to the truth of, who his brother really is or whatnot. It's like a year and a half after his life exploded and transformed in a major way. And when I think of that situation, I think of how some of us might want certain things, but our mindset isn't prepared yet for those things to come in. Where some of us might be the type of people that we don't trust people, but the few that you do trust, you might only trust them because they're family, or you keep them close. They have access because of who they are. But maybe there's some people around you that, you know, you might wish them well, but you can't see them completely because of the story you tell yourself about them and the title that they wear. And because of their title, you assume that they hold the position that one of that title would, and they really don't, but you don't always get to see that truth because you're seeing a fantasy of them for whatever reason. And something might happen that exposes some truth to them, to you. And it's after the truth of them is exposed and the universe blesses you with certain things. Because if you were blessed with these things and having them so close to you, having access to you, it could be detrimental to your life and the life of others. Like, who knows? That's just a thought that comes to mind. But I've come to a place within myself to where it's like, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I trust the process. I am where I'm supposed to be, and I have what I have because that's just what it's supposed to be right now. And I'm no longer in the position, and I hope this stays this way, where I'm trying to push. Like I don't want to push anymore. Like, I'm at a place where it's like, I accept where I am and how things are playing out, because I trust life. I trust life. I trust life. So when it comes to today's energy, you know, 3 of Cups, something comes to an end or didn't play out the way you expected. Let's pause for a bit. I am proud of the services that I offer and excited to tell you about them. If it would be your first time booking with me, then I recommend the natal chart and numerology awareness coaching session. For a while, that was the only service I offered, along with the 30 minutes tarot reading, which is still available if you're interested. I noticed the pattern. At the end of the natal chart and numerology coaching sessions, some of you would ask me for a follow-up service options for additional clarity and guidance to assist you with whatever you're going through at the moment. I kept saying, I'll look into it. I don't know why it took me so long. Finally, I have created that option along with the service option to book a solar return chart reading for those of you who are strategic and like to plan ahead. Everything you need to know is within the description box below. Let's get back into the video. And in this moment, it might be hard to see how it's working out for your greatest good, but it's always when we're looking back, all the pieces connect and we're able to see, wow, I see why the universe didn't allow me to get my promotion. I see why the universe did not allow me to close that deal when I did. I wasn't ready for a deal like that. I wasn't ready for a promotion like that. I wasn't ready for growth like that. I wasn't ready to scale up like that. You know, if I scaled up like that at that time, it would have destroyed me. That promotion would have destroyed me. That recognition would have destroyed me. It could have destroyed me because maybe you weren't ready, you weren't confident enough. And with the recognition comes a lot of disapproval, comes dislike, comes envy, comes with jealousy, comes with a lot of things. And the universe within you, the creator within you, knew that your nervous system wasn't ready for that. So you could have got the promotion, but then got really, really sick because of all that came with it. And your vessel wasn't ready for that kind of energy. So yeah, I've come to the point where I realize that I am where I need to be. I am where I am because this is what I can handle. I am where I am because this is what I can handle. And if I want more, then I continue to do work on myself to get more, but then question, why do I want more? What is more exactly, and why do I want it? You know, that's not an excuse to, you know, I think of the person who goes after certain things and when they don't get it, they start to speak badly about those who go after, or why it's not a big deal, or why it's not necessary. No, this isn't that. It's more of like acceptance and surrender. It's acceptance and surrender, and knowing that I have a higher self. I have a part of me that knows more about me or sees more than I can see. You know, I have guidance. I am guided, and there's a part of me that knows more and sees more than I can see, and I just trust it. I trust it. And like I said, in the moment, things might not make sense, but when I look back, all the dots connect, and it's like, wow, I see. Makes sense. Pleasure sharing this message with you. Let me know you're here by dropping a brown heart in the comment box below. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.